Hey guys, this is Oracle Daphne, and I'm back for another charm and tarot reading for you guys. This one is going to be about how can you be more prepared for this next cycle. And I was going to do a video like specifically about cycles, but since I just did one about the North Node is shifting into Pisces, I don't really want to talk too much about cycles today, except that I guess this is kind of going to be more general as far as how to be prepared or what you can do to be prepared for the coming events, the next couple of years to the next decade. So essentially, we're looking at the future from with a sense of preparedness. The tarot is often used to bring, they say, the foresight is forewarning, kind of, or preventative in some ways. So that's kind of the approach that I'm taking today. How can we look at this from a sense of how we can be prepared for what's coming, and any kind of practical things that I can be suggest of help here in this reading. That's what I'm really looking for. Before I begin, I just want to say a big thank you to everybody who has donated. All the donations I really appreciate. I had posted like 90 videos in like a 30-day period around Christmas, and I started to get back on track and post quite a lot of videos and content recently. So please, all of that really supports the work that I'm doing. I'm very passionate and I care a lot about the work that I'm putting out there. So all the links to booking a reading are also going to be in the description box as well as the comments. And yeah, I'm just going to jump right in. I'm going to lay out some cards, but I saw some things in the charms like right away, like before I even started. And one of the things that you're going to be kind of looking at in the future is your boundaries. Boundaries and your connections to other people. And one of the things that's like coming through as far as boundaries, it's really understanding like what is your responsibility in the world? What is your part to play? What is your role to play? And I was recently watching some posts on YouTube about the story of the hummingbird in the rainforest, and how the story is that there was, ironically, a forest fire in the rainforest or someplace. And I think it was a jaguar that asked the hummingbird why the hummingbird was only taking a few drops of water into the rainforest to try to put out the fire. And the hummingbird came back and I said, well, I know that I can't do much, but I'm just going to do my part, and that's all that I can do, and I'm trying. And so the story is that from what I saw in this post was that the forest was so moved by the hummingbird's courage and dedication to doing their part that essentially it caused a rain cloud to happen and put out the forest fire from all that rain. And so essentially this next cycle is really looking at what is your part, what is your role to play in life, what is your responsibility, are you doing your part, are you doing the most you can do with what you've got. My guides are also showing me a cycle that I'm coming out of, but I think a lot of people are going into, which is about making a lot with very little. I think that in this next cycle, learning to use what you've got is going to be something that's going to be a blessing. For me, the lesson was it was a blessing because I was making things, creating things out of nothing, and or using what I had. I made all these bath soaks out of salt and baking soda and herbs that I had, and rice that I had. And it was just like, all these ideas came from that. I think, I had been just using what little I had into turning it into something that became a channel for a lot of creativity and inspiration for myself and for other people. And so I think that at this time, learning to use what you've got is going to be something that it's going to become a challenge, but also something that you'll consider a blessing later. You'll be able to do more with less, essentially. And I would encourage people, though, if you don't know how to cook, or if you don't know how to really work in the kitchen or do anything creative, I would take a class, sign up for a cooking class somewhere, or just start to really think in more creative terms. Maybe get together with a group, start a little creative group and be like, what are we doing creatively today? How can we work together to solve problems or issues? It might be very fascinating what the outcome is. And the whole thing about this little piece here is, to me, this is a piece that I found. It looks like a puzzle piece of a bracelet. And I imagine, that the person that was wearing that was gifted by someone very special. And so I see this next cycle as this time where you're going to be looking about connections. Who's important to you? The people that are very important to you, you're going to become closer with those people. And the people that are not important to you are going to really become way, way out of your field, and you won't even notice them. To me, it's a focus thing. I'm also seeing for some of you, you don't have a lot. So it's sort of how are you supposed to really make do or make anything out of this time? And that is where the challenge really is going to be. Utilizing your gifts, utilizing the things that you have, utilizing the lessons you've learned, putting everything into practice. This next cycle is going to be the challenge. Okay, so let's look at the tarot for a second. Oh, I have to say, some of you are going to be preparing for a wedding. You're going to be planning for a wedding. And so some of you might want to get started now, maybe saving up now. I feel like there's a wedding that's going to happen on the horizon. Some of you are going to need to really get organized. The whole organization thing came through, deciding what you need, really pulling your stuff close to you and being okay, what is it that I need? Some of you are going to be learning about your weaknesses. Some of you who, I see the pineapple as a social charm, but it's also a charm about water, and it's also a charm about drinking and being social and friendships. So all these things are going to be coming into play in this next cycle. I feel some of you are going to be focused on either recovering from alcohol, or your having an alcohol problem, or you're going to be really focused on your hydration, thinking about how much water you're drinking, what kind of water you're drinking, maybe taking some electrolytes. Getting physically fit through this next cycle is something that I'm seeing very much. But I also feel you might not see it as a priority, but I feel love and being happy is a priority. We have this little sunflower here, and to me that's it's happiness. It's also, I also see it as a card about art and photography. And some of you may be getting, if you are artistic in any way, maybe drawing, painting, sculpting. I even see metal work or jewelry work through this next cycle. Okay, I also feel